Welcome to the ZimmCast, a program dedicated to bringing you what's new in agricultural marketing. The ZimmCast is the official podcast of AgWired and hosted by Chuck and Cindy Zimmerman.
Hello and welcome to the ZimmCast. I'm Chuck Zimmerman. It's almost time for the 2024 Agri-Marketing Conference that's put on by the National Agri-Marketing Association. ZimmComm will be there to celebrate our 20th anniversary in our Connection Point booth, and we've got more to come on this when we get to the conference later this month. In this episode, I'm talking with Lori Kruger. She's with Signal Theory, and she's chair of the Agri-Marketing Conference Committee this year. We'll do a preview of what you'll find if you get registered and attend. Lori, first of all, tell us what you do.
I am a senior director of account management leading our ag and animal health business at Signal Theory.
This year, you're the chair for the Agri-Marketing Conference that's coming up in Kansas City, late April, 24th through the 26th. So let's dive into it right away. The theme this year is Bright Horizons, and that's got to mean something, right?
Yeah, of course. Yes, it's pretty obvious, but I will say I think we're all, at a point where it's been, 4 years since COVID, and it's like, okay, no more. Let's move forward. Let's look to the future. So I think really the ideal is to be a little more future focused with this, and thinking about what's ahead. So that those horizons that we have to look forward to, and optimistically, hence the bright horizons.
Okay. Well, let's go over the schedule because I think we have a couple of things that might be a little different in there, but we'll kind of go through there and just first give it an overview of the fact that we start Wednesday and the chapter leaders and board of the directors meet, and of course we have a whole evening full of receptions. So yeah, what's going to get us started and into the whole program?
Yeah, well, there's a small marketers workshop, which is always a popular item and continues to grow and be an opportunity. Another thing we've added on Wednesday afternoon is a mid-level managers workshop. So really looking at those people that are looking to grow in their career and how they can do that. So we're excited to add that workshop to Wednesday afternoon to give people that opportunity to think about how they can personally and professionally grow in their career. Based on kind of that point they're at.
Yeah, you mentioned Connection. It's Connection Point, and ZimmComm will be there. We're celebrating our 20-year anniversary, and that's where we announced ourselves first, back in 2004. So this is kind of a big deal for us.
To your point, yes, lots of receptions. Wednesday night is always a great time with the best of NAMA. So we're looking forward to the receptions, both the first timers reception as well as the best of NAMA finalist reception, and then the event itself, and then the trade show afterwards. So that's always a great time to network, to connect with clients, agencies, media partners. So there's always a great opportunity to connect. And because it is the first night for a lot of people, it really is a kind of a welcoming time and a good kickoff for the conference.
Something else new, though, is after that reception, right after the Best of NAMA Awards, we've got a thing called the Premier Party. What is that?
Well, it's really just an opportunity, again, just to take the chance to network, especially for people who haven't been before. I mean, you and I talked about how we've been a part of NAMA for decades, but for a lot of people, this may be their first conference. So it's really an opportunity to connect and allow people that haven't been here before, something that we're always trying to do and being very intentional about is looking for opportunities to make people feel welcome if they haven't been a part of NAMA for years. So really want to make sure that there's that opportunity to network and get to know people that maybe haven't been around for decades.
Well, we'll look on because when we get to the next day, this is where we have our first general sessions. And that's a big deal. There's some awards that are also given out too. So that's kind of a big deal on Thursday in terms of our professional development.
Yeah, we're kicking it off with two speakers that we're really excited about. One, to kind of get us kicked off on this idea of bright horizons and optimism is how do we accelerate our performance without the burnout? Sunil Gupta will be the speaker there. Really excited to hear about that because I think we all are balancing a lot. We're in an environment where we're expected to do more with less. And how do we balance that without the burnout that comes along with it? So I think that will be a really interesting session and kick us off in a good way to get us, get the momentum flowing as we kick off the conference and the sessions. Following that, we have Dr. Marcus Collins, who's going to be speaking on consumer behavior and unlocking the power of networks. While this is an ag conference, we know that consumers are a big part of what we do. And really, as whether you're a producer or B2B, we're all humans. And so definitely relevance there across all of our industries. So looking forward to hearing from Dr. Collins as it relates to unlocking the power of networks.
Well, during the rest of the day, we do have lunch in the Connection Point, and then that will close later on in the evening or late afternoon. Breakouts in between there, I would assume a couple of those probably with our speakers that might be doing those as well. So it again, we have plenty of opportunity for networking throughout the day, even around all these sessions. And from there, we go to the last day. And guess what? We have a couple breakouts, a closing session, but another general session.
Yes. So Dr. Collins is going to have another breakout on Thursday afternoon. So there will be a chance to hear more from him and dig a little bit more into the data side of behavior. A lot of times when we think about behavior, it is kind of disconnected from data, but really looking at how we can combine the two to help inform what we do. At the same time that he has his breakout session, we'll also be having a panel about content. We know in this age of lots of channels, we need to be as efficient as we can while still connecting across as many channels as possible. So the panel will be on making the most of content and how to be efficient, but yet have really engaging content that's appropriate for the channels that we're all communicating on daily. Following that, there is a couple sessions, one on Google Analytics 4. We know that's a big transition over to, from Universal Analytics to GA4. So just making sure that everyone has the opportunity to hear and be prepared because the time is now, but how can they make sure that they're ready for the future and what that's looking like and even improve upon what the transition so far. And then refining relationships through social awareness and communication. We'll be talking a little bit within this session really about again, going back to that personal growth and how to build on, your career as a marketer. So looking forward to that one as well. And then, yes, Friday morning, we shift gears a little bit. Friday, everybody's a little groggy, but we're going to have two really great panels on Friday morning. So hoping that draws a crowd because we have the producer panel. And I think we all know that the producer panel is a very popular panel because we always love to hear from the farmers that are more often than not the end customer of who we're trying to reach. So we'll have a producer panel, and at the same time, we will have an AI panel. And we've kind of joked that for the foreseeable future, AI will be a topic of every conference we all go to. So we're excited to have a panel of AI specialists and people who are working with it every day. It's really a nice range of people from agency to Accenture, so more on the consultant side of the business and a large global company. And then also a professional who has created an entire company that reads animal faces with AI to predict sickness in cattle. So anyway, so really excited about that. And then we have our closing session to wrap things up on Friday.
Well, while this is all going on, we have students there, and there are chapters that'll be doing their competition throughout, basically. And then Thursday afternoon will be their awards. So we always love seeing their products, their presentations. We can sit in and watch them if we want to. And of course, we have professional members who do the critiques and eventually have the winners that they go through. So anyway, just glad to see them again, and wanted to make sure we mentioned them.
That's how I started my career, honestly, was as a student NAMA member. And I was sitting on the other side of the table from the professionals at NAMA, presenting and being part of those teams. So it's a huge part of NAMA and something that I've been proud to be a part of and look forward to getting back to judging here in the future. It's a great opportunity.
On the website for the conference, if anybody's interested, besides the schedule, they can also see who's going to be there so far. And I scanned through that list, and I don't know what the number is, but yeah, it's a pretty comprehensive list. And there were a lot of new names and company names that I would have to go look up. So we're going to have some new people to talk to. And that's kind of what's going on in our business in the world right now. Lots of things have been changing.
Yeah, I think that's a win. I like seeing the new names and new companies. I think that's a win for NAMA when we can make sure we're growing and expanding and reaching a bigger audience.
So you can still register, and we'll just have to make a plug for that at nama.org.
Yes, please register. Yes.
All right. Anything else before we close that you might want to say to folks?
I don't think so. Just I'm looking forward to seeing old and new colleagues and friends, and meeting those of you who I haven't yet. So thanks, and looking forward to bright horizons together.
All right. Thank you, Lori. We'll see you very soon. So that's the ZimmCast for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for listening.
You've been listening to the ZimmCast, the official podcast of AgWired. Check us out at www.agwired.com to find out what's new in agricultural marketing.